Hi, today's video is going to be quick, but it's probably one of the most important videos you're going to watch for custom quilting on your Pro Stitcher with your Pro Stitcher. So today I am going to show you how to place a triangle with Pro Stitcher Premium and Pro Stitcher Lite. The applications get you to the same place, but they're totally different because of the buttons that we have in Premium, but we don't have in Pro Stitcher Lite. So I'll share my screen with you. I'm going to go to my Pro Stitcher simulator. I hope you all have this on your laptop or your desktop because it's so much easier to sit down at my desk, work on my simulator, and then go over to my machine. So let me go to my Pro Stitcher. Okay, now my screen is Pro Stitcher Premium. So I'm going to start there first. I'm going to show you how to place a triangle with Pro Stitcher Premium. So let's go ahead and get out a design, File, Design, Open. And I have a half square triangle already on my screen. So I'm going to get out this feather triangle and I'm going to double click it to open it. And over here, you see my triangle. It's grayed out because what's active is the last thing that I pushed. So I'm going to select an area for my triangle. So let me get this out of the way and I will go to my area tab, turn on my simulator, and I'm going to multi-point around this triangle. So I'll get my crosshairs where they're pretty much even and multi-point. See, those lines need to line up. But I would be following my stitching on my quilt. I wouldn't have the triangle on my screen. I would be using the triangle pattern on my quilt. Multi-point and multi-point. Okay, so now let me get my crosshairs out of the way. You see that I have multi-point around the triangle. And if you come over here to your workspace, you see that I have 3 points. Remember that. That is very important. Now here's my pattern, my feather pattern that I want to put in this triangle. In Pro Stitcher Premium, we have under Modify Skew, when I have 3 points in my triangle, we have Triangle Skew that's active. So I am just going to touch that button and watch what happens. That doesn't look very pretty, does it? Okay, what happened there? I'm going to go back to no skew. In this instance, this pattern needs to be rotated so that the long side of the feather is over here against the long side of the triangle and the right angle is with the right angle. So I'm just going to go modify, rotate. And I'm going to rotate this around. There we go. And I'll bring it down so you can see it. So I need to get this triangle into this space. So now I'm going to go back to Modify, Skew, and Triangle Skew. And let's see if I can do this. My buttons are hidden with the Zoom program here. Sorry. Okay, so that is my triangle skew. Now remember that I said you have to have 3 points. Let me undo till I get that out of there. And I'm going to clear my area. And I'm going to go back to my triangle, to my area, and I'm going to multi-point. Let's get my crosshairs over here, multi-point, and here's one. And maybe my triangle's a little off on my quilt, so I'll put another one here and here. And now it looks like it's straightening out again, so I'm just going to follow the piecing on my quilt. Okay, so there's my triangle. Now I need to get this in here, so let me select my pattern so it's active. Go back to modify, skew. Uh-oh, if you look over here in your workspace, I don't have triangle skew. It's not active. So I cannot skew this. If I go to skew, look what happens. If I go to border skew, look what happens. Remember I said that you have to have 3 points. If I go back to area, my point count is 4. So this is not going to work at all. So always remember that you have to have 3 points in order to use the skew, triangle skew. But I'm going to show you another way that in custom quilting, you can really get that triangle in there if it's an odd shape or your block isn't perfect. So let's go back and I'm going to close that triangle and I'm going to clear my area and I'm going to select my area. Oh, I can't select my area. Let me select this block, get it in the middle. There we go. Okay. Now I'll go back to my area. This is now Pro Stitcher Lite, or if you have a pattern that doesn't work with any of the skew buttons, this is the process that you're going to use. So area, I'm going to hit my simulate, get my crosshair. I'm going to go multi-point, multi-point, and multi-point. Okay, and we'll get out that feather again, file, design, feather triangle. Remember to rotate it, modify, rotate, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I cannot use I'm in Pro Stitcher Lite and I don't have a triangle skew button, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to modify align. Now, what I want to do is this is the long side of the triangle on the diagonal, but here is your right angle, your corner right here of the triangle. I want to align, I want to lock this corner into this corner right here. So under my align, I'm going to align it to come over here to your workspace. I'm going to align to the left. So now it's aligned to the left, and I'm going to align to the bottom vertical. Push the bottom. So now it's in the corner, but it's way too big. So I'm going to resize this now, and watch when I resize it. This is glued to the area here. This is glued. So when it resizes, it's going to resize this way on the diagonal. So let's go to modify, resize. Make sure that you have your lock on because you want all sides of the triangle to be consistent with each other. So I have my lock and I'm just going to hold down on my minus button. See how that's still locked over here on the horizontal and the vertical? I'm going to hold down, hold down. Okay, so now let me see if I can pan this whole screen over here. All right, and we'll make it a little bit bigger. So now you can see that I have my triangle is in here. How does it look? I'm missing a little bit over here, and there's some sticking out. See how that's sticking out right there? I'm going to go to reposition, and I'm going to nudge this up a little bit. There you go. This one, might have to nudge it maybe 1. And let's see if I pan down, get my hand and pan down. Oh, that all looks pretty good. Now this over here, if I nudge it this way, these will be outside of the triangle. So let's see what happens when I rotate it. So I'm just going to rotate down here. I have increments. This is set at an inch. I don't want it set at an inch. So I click on this and I get a keypad. I'm going to go 0.01, enter. And now I can rotate this in very small increments, just holding it down. And now you can see, let's pan, and I can see it's right on that line. These are right on the line. That's up a little bit, so maybe I can rotate it just a little bit the other way. There we go. Let's see if those are even. Oh, I think that looks pretty good. So let me scroll in, get it down a little bit. I think that, oh, this is still sticking out a little bit, so I'm going to go back to reposition, and I'm going to nudge it that way a little bit on the diagonal. And I think that looks pretty good. So I am ready to stitch that out. So it's very important that if you have, there's so many shapes out there, or your block is so wonky that you really need to tweak it to get it in there perfectly, you have the tools to do that. So we can't always use the skew, the border skew, or the triangle skew to get a pattern into a specific block. So we're going to use our alignment tools. And those are so handy when you have to custom fit a pattern into a block. So I hope this helps Pro Stitcher Premium and Pro Stitcher Lite. In Premium, remember that you have to have only 3 points. You can't have more than that, or your triangle skew will not be active. And in Pro Stitcher Lite, create your area around your block and use your alignment keys. Always remember that when you line to the left and you align to the bottom, or the right and the bottom. So either way, this is, you've got glue. Glue is on this is glued right here to the bottom and the side. So your pattern is in a triangle, your pattern is going to resize from the outside to the center. So I hope this helps. Leave me a comment if you have any questions. Remember to hit the like button, please. I'm not seeing a lot of likes, and that makes me so sad. So please hit the like button. And I'm getting ready to not only do free motion videos, but I'm also going to custom quilt and create in Pro Stitcher my quilt block, so I can lay patterns on top of it because I don't want to use designer. Not everybody has designer. I'm going to show you how to create a block inside of Pro Stitcher Premium or Pro Stitcher Lite, and that way you can put your designs on top of it and audition them. So remember to hit the like button, and I'll see you soon. Happy quilting!